everybody, and welcome back to Live from the Shy. I'm your host, Jeremiah In tonight's episode, we have the pleasure of speaking to someone who's making great change in society. The black community has gone through a countless number of deaths at the hands of the police, and as a black host, I have the privilege to use this platform to present to you another black person, a great friend of mine who is doing great change and going above and beyond to make change happen in society. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight's episode. Our guest on tonight's episode is a UIC track and field student athlete and making change in the world. Please welcome Prevail Bonga.
Hi everyone.
Hey Prevail, how's it going?
It's going really well. I've been really busy lately, obviously, but yeah, things are going really well. Being in quarantine, it's weird. But I'm also just learning a lot, doing a lot, and yeah.
Yeah, doing a lot is definitely an understatement, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but just tell us about yourself and your journey into track and field, and how did you get to UIC?
So, obviously my name is Prevail Bonga. I'm a junior at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I am majoring in criminology, law, and justice, and I'm double minoring in political science and African American studies. And I'm also on the pre-law track. So if there's any lawyers that see this, actually contact me because I'm studying for my LSAT and it's a lot. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Oh, I'm also first generation, the oldest of 5. I also, what else? I don't know. There's just so many different things about me. And basically, I mean, track honestly was my first love. I've been running track since the 5th or 6th grade, and I ended up continuing to run at UIC. So yeah.
So tell us more about that and your role at UIC, and how do you help the Flames win games?
Okay, so well, we have meets, not games,
My
but
bad, my bad.
basically, no, you're good. So I am a jumper. I do long jump and triple jump, and basically, I would say that the role that I play is my freshman year, athletically was really rough, and I feel like not only it was a combination of me recovering from an injury, but it was also just my body readjusting to the lifting and the work and the volume that I had. But I would say that the way that I help Flames win games, if you want to say that, is just being a positive teammate, just always encouraging my teammates, also just putting my best foot forward, training hard, just taking every day as if it were to be the last day that I were to compete. So yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys play in the spring, right?
So we have a indoor and outdoor season, and we condition in the fall. We start our meets in the winter, and then we basically have a full spring season. So yes.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about, because as we all know, COVID-19 took a
Mm-hmm.
big toll on the sports world and
Yes.
at every level. So just tell
Yes.
us about that. How did it impact you guys? And obviously you guys couldn't play, so how did it affect
Mm-hmm.
you?
Yeah, so I just remember, so for me, outdoor, so my sophomore season was going great. I was, making huge strides, um, hit a new PR, a lifetime PR, which was amazing. And I remember when conference came around, I will never forget this, but indoor conference, I pulled my hamstring on my first jump, and I was like, wow, God really this was not the time for me to showcase what I had, and it was hard to get over, but I was like, okay, outdoor season, I'll make a comeback, maybe that'll be the right time. And then next thing I know, we have a meeting, and my coach calls everyone into PEB, which is one of the facilities, and we found out that our season was canceled indefinitely for the rest of the year. And I was like, wow, like, so there was no outdoor season at all. And honestly, for me, of course I was really, really hurt and I was really upset, but I was like, okay, like maybe I can use this time to like review like my own um my own athleticism, see what I'm doing wrong, see what habits I need to fix, like recharge. Because I mean, a lot of athletes don't talk about this, but like you get burned out. So like I felt like for me, although I was like upset about what happened, I also was like, okay, like this will give me like time to recharge, and like, you know, I can find that initial love I've always had for track. um and like it's just so nice because I've been, you know, wanting to train on my own and like do so many things on my own. And someone, or like people that I felt really bad for, were the seniors, just because I was like, you know, no one expected their senior year to end like this, or no one expected their senior year to, you know, happen this way. So yeah, that's basically a summary of like what happened. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And like, obviously I work with you guys, so my work was cut short as well. Um, but you know, as time goes on, like, you know, everything started to unfold with the whole, you know, COVID thing, and then, you know, with the whole police brutality situation, and like you actually, you know, took initiative and decided to do something about it. And most people, like most people just went protest, or, you know, the whole looting situation happened. But you actually went and did a great thing, and you started and organized a March for Our Lives walk in Downers Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it together with your teammate and friend. And on the day of, you guys got an estimate of 4,000 to 5,000 people to show up.
Yes.
That's
So
that's amazing.
yeah,
It
thank
really
you.
is amazing.
Thank you. So basically, so the March for Our Lives, that was a prior, because a lot of people like mix those up. So my junior senior year, this was when Parkland had a mass shooting of 17 students. Me and a couple of friends organized a March for Our Lives march in Downers Grove. And that brought about 1,200 people. But this one, we called this was a different name. I believe we called it Say Their Names. And yeah, that's the name of this protest. And it did bring about 4,000 to 5,000 people, which is like amazing. I'm like still like, I feel like I still haven't processed it. Like so many people have been like, oh my gosh, like I don't think you realize like the amount of like work and, you know, um the like what you did. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah. So but yes, one of my friends reached out to me. Her name is Cassie, and she basically was like, I really want to do something, and I also wanted to do something as well. And I feel like, you know, because I've organized events before, and I have a really large group of like connections and networking and things like that, I was like, okay, like we can definitely do this. And it happened. So yeah.
Yeah, and the recognition didn't go unnoticed. You received a whole bunch of press opportunities from this
Yeah.
situation, which is well deserved. The UIC Flames wrote an article about you. UIC
Yes.
itself,
Shout out to Dan Wallace. He gave me a call and he did an amazing job. That article was so beautifully written.
yes, I read that one. Dan is a great guy. I get to work with him too. So shout out Dan Wallace. Even the NCAA picked up on the story. How
Yes.
does all that press? How does that feel?
It's really, really exciting. Like even with the NCAA, I have to shout out my teammates, Kate and Kayla, because they actually reached out to the NCAA track and field page. And I mean, that was just amazing to me because it was my own teammates. And the NCAA uh like track page reached back out to me, and I've been in communication with a woman who works there, and we've just been talking about ways to make sure that Black athletes have amplified voices, and I don't know, it's just been amazing, honestly. Like, people have been reaching out to me pretty much daily for podcasts, interviews, um maybe even like live shows, like something like this. So it's just been like really cool, and I'm just trying to um process, I guess, like that's happening. And but I'm also trying to like make sure that I like continue to do work and like continue to educate others.
Yeah, and even when all of this, all the whole walk ended, you decided not to stop there. You actually started a fundraiser to
Yes.
collect money for an organization called Good Kid Mad City.
Yes.
And that, you said, it ended yesterday.
Ended yesterday at midnight. And it's funny because we're still getting money, which is like amazing. Like, I'm gonna keep the post up on my Instagram. Um, and I also tagged them, so like you can donate to them directly even after this is over. But yeah, so far we've raised $5,639. But like I
Man,
said, people are still
that's dope.
donating. Yeah, thank you. And it's so funny because like it usually takes a lot of people telling me like, oh my gosh, like that's like really, really cool. Cause in my mind, I'm like really, really competitive. So I'm like, okay, like $5,000, like, I mean, it's all right. But, and I remember like we hit 1,000 in the first day, or in like the first 3 hours or something like that. And I remember like people being like, oh my God, that's great. And like, I wasn't even like as impressed, because I was just like, we can always do more. Um, Especially like just seeing where a lot of people that I know, like the socioeconomic privilege they have, I'm like, $1,000 in 3 hours is nothing. Like, we can still go. So yeah, so far we're at 5,600 plus dollars, and I'm so elated. I'm so excited to just give back, because I feel like a lot of the organizations that people donate to are like, the huge ones that are getting like mass donations. And I feel like, we should support um our community, like our nearby, like communities. So yeah.
No, yeah, let's talk about that. Why did you choose Good Kid Mad City?
So I actually talked to one of the organizers, or one of the members from Good Kids Mad City, but I'm just looking at this infographic because I feel like it sums them up very well. But they are a grassroots organization, and they're led by Black and Latinx youth, which is, something that's already really, really important that I feel like you don't see a lot. Um, and they have goals to improve education, healthcare, reduce occurrence of violence, and also just to like establish a strong community in general. And something that they've done, and I follow them on Twitter they are GKMC18, just so you guys can follow them as well. But they provide emergency funds of $50 um, for Black and Indigenous people of color, 18 to 24, in need every Friday. They did a grocery delivery service, and they're also working to stop displacement and gentrification. And for me, I was just like, why wouldn't anyone want to um, be a part, and why wouldn't anyone want to resource or provide resources? So yeah.
No, you're doing amazing work, Prevail. I'm
Thank
truly,
you.
truly proud of you.
Thank you.
Everything that you're doing, you're just making the best of this situation and using your time properly. And
Thank
I
you.
rem I remember, so I interviewed before at UIC
Yeah.
at the other talk show, and I
Yeah.
remember we were talking about the questions beforehand, and something that like you wanted to say is like, I want people to know that I'm not just a student athlete, that that
Yes.
there's more to me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you the same thing here. Like, you're more than just a student athlete. What does it mean to just go beyond that title?
Yeah, so it's actually really funny because some of my closest friends are like, I forget that you actually do like a full-time sport. And I just think it's really funny because I'm like, yeah, sometimes I forget too. Like, I do all these things and like have so many other responsibilities. And I feel like something that is very common within athletics is um you put so much of your identity in athletics that you forget that athletes, a lot of these athletes are literally brilliant people. Like, they have the ability and the capacity to do such amazing things, but it's like if you're not forced to step outside of your athleticism, like you might not even tap into those things. And I feel like being a Black athlete specifically, it's like I'm gonna be Black regardless, whether I'm on the track, whether I'm like on the runway, in the sand pit, or even outside of track. So like for me, I don't know. I feel like I have to make it clear that I'm so much more than a student athlete, because my life experiences outside of athletics, I faced racism, microaggression, um, just all of these different systemic built-in things. And I feel like it's really, really important that as an athlete, you try to make sure that you're doing your part, um, because playing a sport and eventually not being able, like for me, I was like, okay, I won't be able to um, do track forever. So I wanted to make sure that outside of track, I was doing what I could to make sure that I was helping others, educating others. Um, Law school is in my future, and I'm like, of course, I'm going to enjoy track and do everything I can to make sure that I maximize the amount of like energy that I can get out of it. But I also am like trying to make sure that I don't know, basically just like try to make the world a better place. Like, that sounds so corny and so it does, but I I really, really want to do what I can to make the world a little bit better.
Oh man, it's not corny at all, man. If you're doing it and you're actually, speaking what you preach and all that stuff, it makes a huge difference to everybody. So
Mhm.
like I said, like I'm very proud of you, Prevail, and
Thank you.
seeing you do the things you do and all that stuff. It just, it kind of inspires me to do better as well. So,
Well, look at you, Jeremiah. You have a talk show. Like, you're like, I feel like, and the thing is like, not everyone needs to like, I feel like I've heard so many people be like, oh my God, like, you inspire me. And like, I want to, like, I wish I had the ability to like do what you do. But I'm like, no, like, everyone, you're able to help the world in so many different ways. Like, you don't
hmm
have to like organize a protest. You don't necessarily have to like start a fundraiser, but like, you can help the world through art. Like, you can help the world through like media. Like, there's so many ways and so many different things that you can do. It's like there's not like one perfect way to do it.
Yeah, no, definitely that's true. So no, I thank you for, telling me that. That's kind of, I feel like, you know, doing this talk show and talking to people is like my strong suit.
Yeah, of
That's like
course.
my best skill set. So hopefully, with this, I'm helping a whole bunch of people and helping you as well. So
Yeah.
no, thank you. But before we let you go, tell the people where they can follow you. Maybe if they want to, donate to Good Kid, Mad City still and
Yes.
stuff like that. Just, this is your chance to say everything and anything, all these last final remarks.
Okay, awesome. So on Instagram, you can find me at PJ Bonga, BONGA .17. Twitter, so like I have one that's like a little more like business-ish, and then I have one that's personal. But my personal Twitter is PJ underscore trackfield 17. Don't laugh at me. And then my business Twitter is PBON 1749. Facebook, my name, Prevail Bonga. LinkedIn, Prevail Bonga. I'm kind of reworking my LinkedIn profile, so it's empty right now. What else? If you need to reach out to me, just feel free to do that. Good Kids Mad City. Their Instagram is GKMC18, so you can follow them. Their posts like share their Venmo and things like that. And other than that, I got this really cool shirt, Protect Black Women, and I believe the Instagram page for that is Protect Minorities. I'll probably be plugging that soon. Yeah, it's Protect Minorities, Black owned. Yeah, other than that, like I think that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. There'll be right after we're done talking, there's gonna be a graphic that has
Okay,
all the
awesome.
info. So
Thank you.
no, thank you, Prevail. It's been an honor talking to you. As always, you know, I'm proud to be friends with you and doing big things. So
Thanks,
I, I'm look
Jeremiah.
I'm looking
That's
forward to
sweet.
see you do more as well. So thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone for listening, tuning in. Like I said, if you have any questions, like feel free to reach out to me. So yeah,
All right. Thank you, Prevail. See you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
There you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Be sure to follow Prevail as she does a lot more to change society. And be sure to catch her at one of her track and field games. For more information, visit www.uicflames.com and search track and field once you get to the homepage. Also, be sure to check out Good Kid Mad City and donate any money if you can to a good cause. And if you know anyone else or yourself is making great change, we'd love to have you on the show. Send in an email submission to talkshowshy@gmail.com. As always, be sure to subscribe to the channel for the best interviews, like, and turn on post notifications to know when we have another upload. And until next time, I'm Jeremiah Paprocki. Stay safe, everyone.